Nearly 70 million people from the Northeast to Florida face a risk of severe weather. Authorities in the Dominican Republic have seized the passport of Joshua Reeby, the man who was last seen with missing U.S. college student Siddiqua Kanaki before she went missing. Officials say it was confiscated by authorities when he tried to check out several days ago when the investigation started. He has not had access to it since. Authorities say he has not been named a suspect. America's listening to Fox News.
Fox News Audio presents the Fox Nation Investigates podcast, Evil Next Door, exploring the life and crimes of 5 serial predators from across the United States.
It's a very disturbing case.
In never-before-heard interviews and first-hand perspectives.
Described as pure evil. That's a good description.
The Fox Nation Investigates podcast, Evil Next Door. Listen and follow now at foxtruecrime.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Get those W-2s ready. Tax season has arrived. It's the Fox Business Tax Tips. Fox News Radio's Ginny Casola and Hillary Barsky are joined by the hosts of the Fox Business Network to provide you with the latest tips, tricks, and updates on filing your taxes. From deadlines to tax law changes to the latest deductions, we'll cover it all to make sure you keep that hard-earned money where it belongs, in your pocket. Listen and follow the Fox Business Tax Tips at foxnewspodcasts.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Supposed to get better, 41 degrees and cloudy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 11:03. Tornadoes have touched down in southern parts of Indiana over the weekend, but it's supposed to get better. Indiana's supposed to get more spring-like weather throughout the work week, though.
We're looking for dry weather on Monday and Tuesday with mostly sunny skies. Highs on Monday will be around 54, and then on Tuesday will be even warmer with a high near 69.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says storms are likely in the middle of the week, including rain and thunderstorms. The roads you drive on are expensive to maintain. John Herrick reports on a program meant to address that.
There's what's called the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program. Money from it goes to communities for road reconstruction, bridge preservation, intersection improvements, and other things. State Representative Cindy Ledbetter of Newburgh is a fan of it.
Whether rural or urban, road and bridge maintenance takes resources and funding that is not always easy for communities to come by. Community crossing grants help local governments move forward quicker on larger projects.
And this program has awarded more than $200 million to nearly 250 communities across Indiana this year. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Connorsville firefighters arrived at a home on West 3rd Street Saturday morning because of a house fire. They say 2 people and 5 dogs lived there. 3 of those dogs died, but the other 2, including those people, are okay. WIBC News Time at 11:04, and here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rain is likely this morning, becoming more isolated this afternoon with a couple spots in northern Indiana. Briefly seeing snowflakes, high temperatures already reached this afternoon in the low 40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There's a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate. Call Mark Dietl. Maybe you want guaranteed, no-hassle sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Katie and Chris in Perry Township had to say about working with Mark Dietl. Sadly, our marriage was ending, and we were both ready to sell the home and move forward ASAP. Mark Dietl made it happen fast and easy. Our home sold for more than we anticipated in 24 hours with 17 showings and multiple offers. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Central Indiana, and welcome to the first day, the WIBC Sunday Magazine Show. How y'all doing? You okay? Everybody all right? I'm Terri Stacy along with Kielynn Tally.
Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. I know, crazy weather, but
right,
we're moving on.
We are. And colder too, for sure. Feels it anyway. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Denny Smith will be with us later on in the hour for Denny's Dollars and Cents. And I believe his topic this morning, and I don't know, but I think his topic this morning is about what you need to know about your retirement savings during this crazy time to be in the stock market. Longest sentence ever.
Mm-hmm. The 401ks are, I understand where your worry can come in.
I know it.
Denny will put all those worries to rest.
That's right. That's exactly right. He will be here to help you in just a bit. St. Patrick's Day celebrations began early on Friday, continued even into yesterday despite weather, and for sure tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. There are still some things going on St. Patrick's Day itself. A little curious why the parade went on Friday, but you know what?
Yeah.
It does, but I can tell you this, Kendall and Casey, they will have their rally tomorrow. Unless is there anything we know about the rally still going on at 1 o'clock tomorrow at the State House? The property tax rally? I think everything is still on. Yeah, still on for 1 o'clock tomorrow. Wear your green, and they're going to have a good time too. So again, that is at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We want a lot of people to show up for that one. It is day 2 of the Indiana Flower and Patio Show at the fairgrounds today. Today is Teachers Day, so teachers get in free with your school ID. How about that?
Ooh.
Something free for teachers. Now, you'll still have to pay the $10 parking in the fairgrounds. I am wound up. Everybody else, you can still save $2 online at IndianaFlowerandPatioShow.com. I'll be there today emceeing on the Oberfield's outdoor living stage in the West Pavilion, so I hope you'll stop by and say hello if you get a chance. We've got Big Ten. We have Big Ten and we have big celebrities downtown this weekend because of the championship game later on today. Big Ten, and also for Indiana Comic-Con is still going on today.
I love the Comic-Con.
It is really, folks, excuse me, people watching at its finest. At its finest.
Oh my gosh, you'll see the most interesting outfits, the different costumes that people decide to dress up as. When I went to Comic-Con, I thought I didn't end up actually doing it, but I thought about dressing up as the Princess Bride for meeting Carrie Elwes.
Right.
I thought about dressing up as Buttercup. I won't lie. I didn't, but I thought about it. So I don't blame you all for dressing up. Have fun. Have fun with it.
Have fun with it, and there's still a lot of fun happening at Indiana Comic-Con today. Let's see, Selection Sunday for sure today. That is beginning at 6 p.m. Women's bracket revealed on ESPN shortly after, and we've got a lot more for you, too. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, a very special individual we want you to meet. That's coming up next on 93 WIBC.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump.
President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
Kash Patel confirmed as the next director of the FBI.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC.
Hey guys, it is Terri Stacy. You know, so many new homes these days. You see them. They look exactly alike. Well, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, they do it differently. They build cool homes, truly custom, and they've been building homes across central Indiana for over 18 years, and it really started with Tom and Sarah Joyner when they were looking for their first move-up home, and the only choices in their budget were older homes, and they loved them, but ideally, they wanted one with today's updated finishes, but they couldn't find that dream home, and they really believed that a home could be built that had that character and quality and also be reasonably priced, and that was the start of the concept behind Joyner Homes. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans that really will inspire you. There really isn't any time like right now to begin planning your custom home. Get in touch with Joyner Homes and talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Really simple to do. Just go to the website joynerhomes.com and get started. That's JOYNER homes.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
Terri Stacy for Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Our deck has become an extension of our home, and it's a valuable space, meaning a beautiful deck can enhance your property value, and you got to take care of it. For us, we were spending lots of hours and money maintaining our deck, and that's where Premier Deck Coating comes into the story. First, you should know that Premier Deck Coating is family-owned, based right here in Indy. Sister company of Rhino Shield, which repels moisture, scratch-resistant, all the colors, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. And that's what you want. They're good people, and they completely transformed our deck. They take care of it by sanding the wood. No mess, by the way. And they repaired the damaged boards and applied the special formulated coating. We're really happy with the results and easy to take care of now. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. By the way, Premier Deck Coating, they can do the very same thing for fences and pergolas too. For a free quote and get you on the calendar this spring, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
The crew at LD Smith Plumbing has deep roots in Indiana. Unfortunately, most of the trees around here have deep roots too. And if it isn't roots in your pipes, it's a water heater ruined by sediment. No matter the plumbing problem, we'll show water who's boss. So if you need a new water heater, call us today and save up to $300 on a tankless water heater or $150 on a storage water heater.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
She played a fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little girl.
Welcome back to the first day on 93 WIBC. It's Terri Stacy along with Kielynn. I thought we would get a history lesson of the Irish immigration to Indiana, which I believe goes back to the 18th century. Also talk about the challenges and contribution to building this city. And joining us now is Hoosier Kevin Charles Murray. I bet you know his name. He's a well-known attorney here in Indy for nearly 4 decades. He's also served as an attorney to both the Senate and House of Representatives for the Indiana General Assembly, co-founder of the Indianapolis Athletic Club St. Patrick's Day Parade. He's also an author and storyteller and great-great-grandson of Irish immigrants from County Donegal, Ireland. Kevin, it is great to have you with us. Thanks for agreeing to lead a history class for us today. You doing okay?
Yes, I am. And again, I'm honored. I'm very honored.
Thank you. Kevin has written 2 books, Indiana Shanahy, A Hoosier's Tale of Ireland, and The First Fighting Irish, the 35th Indiana Volunteer Infantry, which is incredibly interesting and a piece of our history that I had no idea. Let's start with your great-great-grandfather, Charles Murray, who came to Indianapolis in 1885. How did he get to Indianapolis? Why Indianapolis? And how old was he?
Well, it was 1858, so it was before the Civil War. He brought his wife and his baby daughter, but left his 5-year-old son, my great-grandfather, in Ireland. Came to Indianapolis, landed in Philadelphia, and made his way to Indianapolis because his brother-in-law and sister-in-law were already here. And that was the magnet that actually drew them. They had come a little bit earlier.
Was the Irish population already growing here in Indy? As you mentioned, there was family already here. So was that Irish population already growing then at that time?
Well, the canal, the whole system of canals was kind of centered in the Midwest, moving from the East Coast. And so the canals predated the railroads. And so Indiana had a huge commitment to the canal systems. And so that's what brought the initial kind of bolus group that came over. Then shortly, the transition occurred within transportation to railroads. And so the Irish followed that transition. I mean, the canal ended up being kind of a bad bet, and the transportation from the rails took over. And so they continued that. And so they left a lot of folks here as that moved on to the West. And so that's kind of the beginning of the migration here. It was transportation oriented.
When your great-great-grandfather, Charles Murray, when he got to Indianapolis, it seems that they primarily lived in a neighborhood known as Irish Hill. Is that where your great-great-grandfather lived also?
Actually, they were more downtown at that point early on. I mean, the downtown area, I think when his son came over in 1874, he lived above a saloon at 54 South Illinois Street. So at that time, things were focused more, and I'll go to Catholic talk here, but in the St. John's parish. St. John's is the beautiful church downtown.
Oh, yeah.
And the Irish community lived around St. John's, Georgia Street and Capitol. And so that was the center of the Irish community during that period. Now, as we go forward, St. Patrick's Parish then is Fountain Square, and so the Irish sort of moved southeast. And as they moved southeast, that's the Irish Hill area to the southeast side. That was historic, in terms of the 1890s. But in the 1850s, 1860s, they were clustered around St. John's right downtown.
Your great-great-grandfather and family, obviously they were working, and you mentioned the canals. Was that some of the jobs that they were able to take? I also understand the fire department. They also were leading the fire department and so much more.
Early on, they were just common laborers. Charles Murray, he gets killed in the Civil War, but his son eventually comes from County Donegal in the 70s, and he becomes a saloon keeper and pubs up and down Virginia Avenue. But it's his grandson, who was my father, that actually became a firefighter. By that time, the Irish you're right, had moved into public safety. I mean, police officers and firefighters became the tradition. And that, you follow this line of laborers, saloon keepers, public safety officers, and then, eventually the next generation, lawyers and doctors. But that's kind of the evolution of the community.
Kevin Charles Murray is with us, and he's written a story, The First Fighting Irish, the 35th Indiana Volunteer Infantry, Hoosier Hibernians in the War for the Union. Please, will you share with us who this regiment was?
Well, basically, the head of the regiment was actually a fairly wealthy Protestant who his father was a big builder in the state of Indiana, built the Michigan Road. His son, John Crawford Walker, is a young man with political aspirations, and so the father said to the son, go out. He was an active Democrat. He said, go out in the Irish community, and I'll pay for this regiment. You raise the regiment, you can be the colonel. John Crawford Walker went out and basically did that. Different areas of the state, like Terre Haute, Lafayette, Michigan City, would form a regiment of 100 people and contribute to the 1,000 men who made up the regiment. The brilliant move was they went to Notre Dame and solicited a chaplain, and Father Peter Paul Cooney from Notre Dame became the chaplain for the regiment and actually became the chaplain for all the Western armies, meaning armies that fought in the Tennessee, Alabama, Texas zone. I mean, and he was just an incredible man, and he is somebody that he was not only the spiritual mentor, he was like the glue that held everybody together and stayed throughout the entire war. The colonel left, other colonels came, lieutenant colonels. There was lots of turnover, but Father Peter Paul Cooney was just magnificent and led these troops through the entire 5 years of the war.
And your great-great-grandfather gave his life for his adopted state and the country. He died in 1863 from wounds he received at the Battle of Stones River in Tennessee. and again, a member of the 35th Indiana Volunteer Infantry. This part of history, we've become very passionate about this and learning, and Kevin helped form a committee that constructed a monument in Holy Cross Cemetery on the south side to memorialize the Irish regiment in which your ancestors served during the Civil War. You're a Hoosier. You played football at Cathedral, finished your high school years at Cecina, went to IU. But when did you become so passionate to learn about your Irish heritage, become so important to you to continue to share that story?
My grandmother, Helen McGinley Murray, was widowed in 1935 at the age of 40, and so her husband was also a Charles Murray, was someone I never knew. I mean, I was born in 53, he died in 35, but she raised me on all this, and I mean, I remember going to the Monument Circle, appreciating that was a monument to my great-great-grandfather. I mean, that's what that building meant to me and to us, and we would go down to Holy Cross Cemetery and lay wreaths on Decoration Day and whatnot, and so it was part of our DNA. I mean, it was also a time when in the 60s we would watch the Ku Klux Klan in the South, and she would tell me the stories of the Ku Klux Klan in the 1920s and how they would march up and down Virginia Avenue in their hoods and their regalia, and she would say to me that, you know, in the 1920s they hated us. They didn't hate African Americans. The African American population in Indianapolis was small, but the hatred of that group was directed to us, and it was just an eye-opening experience. I mean, it made me view the entire civil rights movement totally differently, obviously.
I bet so. You know, how many times have you been to Ireland? Do you still have family there?
Go in March to go lambing to help my cousin with his herd of sheep, and I actually participate in the birthing process, and I spend about 16 hours a day
oh my gosh.
in the sheep shed for weeks. The truth is, we have a small cottage there, just a little 2-bedroom old stone cottage way out in the wilds, and you know, I don't know how, to be honest with you, I don't know how many times.
No. I just wondered maybe if it was like 4 or 5 times, but you've got a place there. You're still going each and every year, I'm sure. You know, the way that we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, green beer and leprechauns, and everybody, as we said, is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. In Ireland, is it much different on St. Patrick's Day?
Well, it used to be. I mean, 40 years ago, it was a holy day of obligation and people would go to Mass. But we've kind of Americanized the day. And by, I would think it was 1995, I went with the Cathedral Band, Ireland, to be in the St. Patrick's Day parade. And, I have to tell you that the parade in Dublin has become massive. And so even in the little villages, there's 3 little villages near my place, Creasla, Falcara, and Dunfanaghy, and all 3 have little parades now. And it's become, you know, the American Irish have kind of flipped it. And so 40 years ago, you would never see, silly hats and things of that nature. But now you tend to see that. You would never see green beer, by the way. But other than that.
Kielynn?
We're speaking with Kevin Charles Murray, and you're also the co-founder of the Indianapolis St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is a tradition for many of us here in Indianapolis. Do you have any Irish traditions that you like to keep up still today?
Traditionally, you would have corned beef and cabbage, and I've always said that my main tradition is after the parade, getting to the Golden Ace Inn on the east side, the McGinley family, and spending the afternoon with them, and it's kind of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, the folks from the east side. It's kind of a family thing, but it's grown over the years. And then by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, get home and fix corned beef and cabbage and have a nice night at home. That's when I'm in America. When I'm in Ireland, I'm usually in the sheep shed that night. Those are the 2 things that I do. But at the end of the day, it's not about the green hair and the green beer and a lot of the silliness. And when we started the parade, we made a firm commitment to make it a family event and to keep alcohol out of the parade, because some of the communities that had parades had problems with that regard. And so it's kind of a stereotype, the Irish and the drink. It can be a real curse, and it's something we really try to avoid.
Is there anything you would like us to know about the Irish heritage that you have and that also helped, again, to build this city?
I'd say that the pride of the Irish is rooted in diversity. I think the reality is that's why everybody becomes Irish on St. Patrick's Day. I mean,
Right.
when you're in the parade and you see the faces of the children, along the parade route, I mean, it's like the rainbow of this world. And yet here in Indianapolis, we all come together. I think that's what we've given, I think, most. I think that acceptance of diversity, the appreciation that we're an immigrant community, and that's what's made this country strong. United we stand, and I think that's what St. Patrick's Day really is. It's a celebration of the future, not forgetting the past where we came from, but again, the diversity is absolutely key going forward.
This is Kevin Charles Murray, and again, the first Fighting Irish, the 35th Indiana Volunteer Infantry, Hoosier Hibernians in the War for the Union. It's a fantastic read. Also, Indiana Shanahy, a Hoosier's Tales of Ireland. It's also a great story about Kevin and his family. He's co-founder of the Indianapolis Athletic Club St. Patrick's Day Parade, active member of the 1st Irish Regiment of Indiana, the 35th Indiana Infantry Volunteers. Thank you so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. Take care.
The news is next. 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like business owner Brian.
Yeah, Galaxy was great. We have a business where a lot of the service techs are working out in the field, and they'll come in and they'll have even some mud or something on our shoes. So if we're having a meeting, I needed a flooring that could stand up to that, but still look good as an office setting.
Well, if you own a home or a business, Galaxy Concrete Coatings got you covered.
Galaxy was great to work around our schedule. They were able to come in on a Saturday, and the job was completed over the weekend, and we were back in business, so we didn't miss a step.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
It's very nice looking. It's very durable. Really makes the room stand out and shine.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
Galaxy was quick to respond. They were quick to give us a solution and quick to get it completed as well. And they're going to take care of you.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life, because you'll be stronger and have more energy, and you're going to feel better, and you'll lose weight, and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct's Tax Time Sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right, no interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there's more. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home upgrade, this bonus savings makes now the perfect time to act. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today for your free in-home estimate. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to BathsReUs.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
I'm Paul Stevens. Parts of the South recovering from Saturday tornadoes. Fox Weather's Randy Campbell in Calera, Alabama.
Around dinner time last night, they had tornado warnings in this area, and now we're seeing the results of that. We have several states across the Southeast with a majority of power outages, just over 272,000 customers without power at this time. Thankfully, Alabama, we are in the clear when it comes to severe weather, but not the East Coast. It's not the same case for them, as we still have more weather occurring.
At least 32 people have been killed by those storms. President Trump ordering airstrikes on Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen.
President Trump showed leadership, and we just hit them with overwhelming force and put Iran on notice that enough is enough.
National Security Advisor Michael Waltz on Fox News Sunday. America's listening to Fox News.
And every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know?
Welcome back to the first day on 93 WIBC. It is Terri Stacy along with Kielynn Talley. And I got an email from a good friend of mine who was telling me about a friend. Now, my friend, I should tell you, is Brad Haberman. You know his name. A lot of you know his name. He's the director of Anna's Celebration of Life Foundation, which is a fantastic organization here in Indianapolis, a nonprofit celebrating nearly 20 years in April of providing life-enhancing gifts to kids with special needs here in our state. And he told me about this guy named Alex. And Alex is getting ready to embark on a huge adventure called Alex's Adapted Adventure. And he is here with us today to explain a little bit. Alex, I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're a pediatrician or a pediatric physician. Well, you tell me, what is your line of work?
Yeah, so I'm a pediatric physical therapist. So I work with kiddos from a few days old up until 21, just working on their mobility and working towards helping them be more independent.
Alex's Adapted Adventure, I understand, is going to take you 350 miles, and it's for a great cause. Tell us a little bit about the adventure.
Yeah, so I'm going to be riding my bike 350 miles from the 19th to the 21st of March, just all on my own, solo. So this started as something that I just wanted to do as someone who works with kiddos with difficulties with mobility. So I have been actually working closely with your friend Brad for 6 years with in a celebration of life. So I often send some of my patients there to receive some of those amazing gifts that they provide children. Mm-hmm. So over the years, I've worked with him quite a bit, and I wanted to just find a way to use the fact that I love riding my bike as a way to help kids. And I knew right away that when I came up with that idea, I wanted to work with Brad and in a celebration of life to make that happen. So I just picked a challenging route and presented it to him and said, I want to help you guys. I want to raise some money for you so that we can get more kids adaptive trikes so that they can be a little bit more independent with their mobility, have fun with their friends, and join their family on walks.
I think this is such a great idea. You're going to start on Wednesday. Is that right? You're going to leave Richmond on Wednesday?
Yes, that is correct.
You're going to go 350 miles, and somehow you end up in Indianapolis. What were some of the highlights of the trip that you're kind of looking forward to?
Oh, I just think it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a challenge, and the idea behind all of that was that I wanted to make it challenging because I wanted to symbolize some of the hurdles that our kiddos have to overcome to be independent with their mobility. So I'll start on Wednesday, and I'll be heading to Louisville, Kentucky, and then I'll stay there for the night, and then the following day we'll be going from there to French Lick, Indiana, and then up from there to Indianapolis.
Wow. Kielynn, please. I know we both got questions.
350 miles is no joke.
No.
Oh, my goodness. And I can't imagine the terrain. It's not easy. It's not just straightforward. What's the longest distance you've ever biked just continuously up until this moment?
160.
Oh my
so
gosh.
that was for the rain ride last year, which is just the ride across Indiana.
Oh, my gosh. So how were you preparing for this journey, this adventure that's getting ready to take place? What are you doing to prepare?
Yeah, so I pretty consistently do a lot of training. I'm kind of a nut when it comes to biking, so I'm pretty consistently on my bike, whether it's outside or on a trainer indoors. So I've just been doing what I usually do to train, staying on the bike and getting miles in, and then also doing some strength training. And then most recently, a couple of weeks ago, did a 100-mile ride to make sure all the gear was prepped.
Kylynn's just shaking
100
her
miles.
head.
This just seems like you're like, oh, that's a piece of cake. 100 miles. What? Oh, I can't even imagine.
No, around the neighborhood for me, I'm pretty wiped out. So this is such a great opportunity for people, I think, to see you along the route too, as well, right? You're going to be doing more than just riding the bike. I understand you're going to be sharing stories and more.
Yeah, so I will be doing as much as I can safely on my Instagram, which is Alex Van Cycle. So my first name started my last name and then the word cycle. So yeah, I will be sharing as much as I safely can. So the big difficulty that I'm looking like I'm going to be having right now is the first day, it looks like I'll have a headwind for the entire day. So, we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to do my best and, just take it hour by hour.
Alex is with us. Alec Van Slyke is with us, and he is a dedicated pediatric physical therapist from the Richmond, Indiana area, whose journey on the roadways will begin Wednesday the 19th at 5:30 a.m., departing from Richmond and then concluding on the evening of March 21st in Indianapolis. And your goal is obviously, as you've said, is to raise money for these adaptive tricycles to children with physical disabilities. How much are these tricycles? What are we talking about money-wise?
Yeah, so they are pretty expensive. So the small and medium sizes start at $2,500, and the large ones are $4,000. And the real reality there is that's the starting price. So as a physical therapist, what I do with Anna's Celebration of Life is I will help them to actually fill out the order forms with the needs that the child has based on what adaptations they need to the trike itself. So those starting prices jump up pretty quickly based on a child's needs. So these things are pretty expensive, and the reality is right now that it is a hard thing for families to get because it's not yet covered by insurance.
But once a child has one of these tricycles or these tricycles, explain what that does for them.
Oh, it's a huge thing for them. So they, it might not be that safe for them to attempt to ride a standard bicycle. And being able to do something like this, a low impact sporting activity that they can share with their friends and with their family, is just amazing. It can open up so many things for them and allow them to use their body to have their own adventures. And that's something that every kiddo should have. The other difficulties that they face is in terms of infrastructure for physical activity. Kiddos with special needs don't really have a lot of opportunity. If you think of all of the school and extracurricular physical activities, they're all kind of aimed towards general able-bodied children. So those things make it very difficult for any kids with some mobility difficulties to participate.
I love your social media. Again, you had said it was Alex Van Cycle. Alex, V-A-N, Cycle, and sharing all of these stories of the kids receiving the tricycles. So if you truly want to see this impact, see it, have that visual. This is what they're doing. This is the good work that they've put in. And follow along on this journey.
One of the big things on there, the ride itself hasn't happened yet, but we actually, with the money that we've already raised, have gotten a child in Richmond his own bike, so he already has it and is using it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
really cool. You know what? That is really cool. And you are too. It's Alex's adaptive adventure, and you can support him with a donation. Just go to ACOLF.org for Alex as he continues this great adventure that will occur beginning on Wednesday. All right, and listen, if people see you, I think you're going to be going through different towns across the state. A lot of people can come out and support you as well during your ride.
Yeah, absolutely. The website for the ride itself actually has the route. That would be helpful if people wanted to join along. But yeah, that'll be a possibility for sure. I hope that it is a challenging amount of fun, but I just want people to better understand things that can be done for children with special needs in terms of the things that can be, gifted to them in order to really empower them and positively change their life. And a celebration of life is doing all of that. They're doing an amazing job. So any support that can be given to them is just so appreciated.
Alex Van Slyke, we wish you the very best along this adventure. We'll keep following along and give people updates as well. But thank you for what you're doing for Hoosier Kids.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Alex. I really hope the weather continues to cooperate and sunny skies are ahead for your journey all across the state. Hey, Denny's coming up. Dollars and Cents. He'll talk to you about your 401ks and if you need to be concerned with all this stock market change. Coming up, 93 WIBC.
Another update is just minutes away.
Strong winds and even tornadoes.
40, 50 miles per hour.
Tonight into tomorrow morning.
Hear the news.
House Republican passed bill Chuck Schumer now support.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal.
On the level.
30-day ceasefire.
Russia's there, and if they're not, it'll be a very disappointing moment for the world.
On the go.
IU men's basketball team eliminated.
Mike Woodson believes they can get into the NCAA tournament.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through May 4th, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and security edge for $69 a month for 24 months. And ask how to get free installation on qualifying bundles. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires enrollment and paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After 24 months, regular rates apply.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Look through your children's eyes, and you will discover the true magic of a forest. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org.
90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. Be a responsible gun owner. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Welcome back to the First Day 93 WIBC. Terri Stacy and Kielynn Talley and Denny Smith has arrived just in time for Dollars and Cents. What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about today, Denny?
Well, Terry and Kielynn, for today's Dollars and Cents, I thought we'd take a look at what the markets have been doing. It's been quite a roller coaster ride recently, and if you've got a 401k or if you're an IRA investor, you might be feeling a little uneasy. More than that, you might be afraid. But here's the good news. Market drops don't have to derail the long-term plans you might have. So let's talk about the power of fear for just a second. You know, fear can be a useful instinct. It kept our ancestors from wandering into the path of a hungry lion. But when it comes to investing, fear can be the worst enemy. When markets dip, the instinct is to run for safety. And that can lead to selling at the worst possible time, which would lock in your losses rather than riding out the storm. It's like seeing storm clouds and deciding to abandon a road trip altogether instead of just pulling over for a break. So today, I'm going to break down investment strategies tailored for 3 different age groups: 45 and under, 46 to 55, and 56 and older. And that's all designed to help you stay on track without making drastic changes to your portfolio. So let's start off with the young ones. Yes, if you're 45 and under, you're considered young, and you should have a long-term perspective. If you are 45 and younger, you have one major advantage, and that's time. Market volatility can feel absolutely unsettling, and if you haven't invested the first time the market goes down, you get a little bit nervous. But here's the good news. History has shown that long-term investors tend to benefit from just staying the course. And if you're 45 and under, you're a long-term investor. Think of your portfolio like a roller coaster ride at an amusement park. You're all strapped in for the long haul and bailing out mid-loop. Does that sound like a good idea? Of course not. So take the 2008 financial crisis. S&P 500 dropped by more than 50%. But within a decade, it had more than tripled in value. So investors who stayed invested benefited from that recovery. So if you're 45 and under, here's what you can do. Just keep contributing. A downturn means stocks are on sale. So keep making those regular contributions to your 401k and take advantage of the lower prices through dollar cost averaging. Here's another one. Stick to your asset allocation. Your portfolio is likely growth-focused. It should be if you're under 45, and that's a good thing. Market dips are temporary, but long-term growth potential remains so very strong if you're young. One more thing, focus on diversification. You got to ensure your investments are spread across different sectors to reduce the risk. But when you're young, that's when you can absorb the risks. So here's the allocation I'd suggest for you. 80% stocks, 15% bonds, and 5% in cash. All right, so let's get up to the 46 to 55-year-olds. There's where I would be balancing growth and stability. For those of you between 46 and 55, you're in a transition phase. Retirement's getting closer, but there's still time to recover from downturns. You're sort of like the tightrope walker. You need to keep your balance without making sudden, jerky movements that could throw you off. Let's look what happened in 2020. The pandemic-induced crash had markets down nearly 30% in just weeks. Investors who panicked and sold likely missed out on one of the fastest recoveries in history. And those who maintained their allocations were rewarded handsomely. So here's an idea on how to navigate crazy markets like what we've seen. Rebalance, but don't react. Instead of selling during a dip, check your portfolio and see if it's still aligned with the risk tolerance and your retirement goals. Just small adjustments may be all that's needed. Consider increasing your bond exposure. A slight shift towards a more stable asset class can provide some cushion against volatility and at the same time maintain a growth potential. And finally, keep contributing, but review your risk tolerance. If the market swings are keeping you up at night, it may be time to tweak, but not overhaul that allocation. Here's a suggested allocation if you're between 46 and 55. 65% stocks, 25% bonds, 10% cash. And finally, for those of you who are 56 and older, you're going to be protecting your nest egg. Protecting wealth becomes a priority while you're still allowing for growth. At this stage, your investments are like a well-cooked steak. You don't want to overdo it and burn away the value you've built. If you're in this age group, you remember the dot-com crash of the early 2000s. Investors heavily exposed to tech stocks saw huge losses, but those with a diversified portfolio, including bonds and cash, they weathered the storm much better. And so here's how you can prepare. Ensure you have enough cash reserves. Having 3 to 5 years' worth of living expenses in cash or liquid assets just helps you avoid selling investments at a loss during downturns. Here's another one. Adjust withdrawal strategies. If you're withdrawing from your retirement accounts, consider taking from safer investments first, and this will allow stocks time to recover. And finally, just stay diversified and avoid emotional decisions. Market downturns are stressful, but making sudden shifts to cash can lock in losses. Maintain a balanced approach that includes some growth assets. Here's a suggested allocation for 56 and older. 50% stocks, 35% bonds, and 15% cash. So look, try to stay the course with a smart strategy, no matter what your age group. Market volatility is a normal part of investing, so whether you're just starting out, maybe you're in your peak earning years, or maybe you're approaching retirement, the key is to stay disciplined, focus on your long-term goals, and make informed, strategic adjustments, not emotional reactions. Remember, history's on your side. Every bear market in history has eventually been followed by a bull market. The key is staying in the game. If you're unsure about your allocations, talk to a financial professional. They can help you ensure that you're staying on the right path. So Terry, Kielynn, Dollars and Cents for this week is all about understanding your fear and how to overcome it.
Thanks for stopping by, Denny Smith. We will see you soon. And hey, today's top stories are coming up next on 93 WIBC.
Indianapolis roads, a total disaster. Some of the worst potholes in America. Am I right?
A car on Keystone Avenue just fell into one the size of a swimming pool.
Disgraceful. These roads should be great again. But right now, they look like the surface of the moon.
Suspension repair shops are making a fortune.
Rigged system. But Matt Bear, he's the guy to trust. Tremendous at avoiding these disasters. Just tremendous.
Matt Bear, making your commute great again. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Terri Stacy for Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Our deck has become an extension of our home, and it's a valuable space, meaning a beautiful deck can enhance your property value, and you got to take care of it. For us, we were spending lots of hours and money maintaining our deck, and that's where Premier Deck Coating comes into the story. First, you should know that Premier Deck Coating is family-owned, based right here in Indy. Sister company of Rhino Shield, which repels moisture, scratch-resistant, all the colors, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. And that's what you want. They're good people, and they completely transformed our deck. They take care of it by sanding the wood. No mess, by the way, and they repaired the damaged boards and applied the special formulated coating. We're really happy with the results and easy to take care of now. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. By the way, Premier Deck Coating, they can do the very same thing for fences and pergolas too. For a free quote and get you on the calendar this spring, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
50 years ago, Brown versus Board of Education outlawed segregated schools, promising the American dream to everyone. The dream of Oliver Brown was quality education for all children. But in many schools, children are being left behind. The responsibility of educating Indiana students rests on us all, from educators and administrators to parents and community leaders. Brown's dream of a quality education is the birthright of every Hoosier and a civil right guaranteed to us by the state of Indiana. If you feel your civil rights or those of your child have been neglected, or that your child has been purposely denied access to the education resources, you have options. Call the Indiana Civil Rights Commission at 1-866-FAIR-FOR-YOU. That's 1-866-332-4748. Or visit our website at in.gov/ICRC. This message is brought to you by the State of Indiana Civil Rights Commission.
Find your new best friend today. Visit indyhumane.org.
Did you ever ride your bike with a clothespin and a baseball card? Or use a typewriter for a school paper? Then here's a timely alert. Americans born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, which often has no symptoms, but is a leading cause of liver cancer. The good news? Treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
Life moves fast.
Another new directive from Donald Trump. President Trump will not be deterred to make our federal government more efficient.
So does the news.
We expect those meetings to take place very soon.
Decisions made today.
Kash Patel confirmed as the next director of the FBI.
Could impact you tomorrow.
Accountability and transparency.
What's next?
You never know what's going to happen.
Need to know what happened.
We're already tracking it. Stay in the know while you're on the go on 93 WIBC. Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Widespread
Widespread devastation. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. For a second straight night, violent storms ripping through the nation's heartland and the Deep South. Mobile homes decimated, cars and trucks flipped on their sides. At least 32 people killed.
Severe threat continues this morning through the afternoon. Florida Panhandle, Georgia, and the Carolinas. We are anticipating some spin with these lines of thunderstorms that move through. It won't be as prolific as what we saw yesterday and Friday, but still any kind of spin up over these heavily populated regions could cause a lot of damage. A tornado threat exists today from Florida up towards the mid-Atlantic, including the D.C. area. Mainly winds will be the biggest concern here, but we cannot rule out a tornado or two. Definitely heavy rainfall and perhaps some hail.
Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. Some Mississippi residents are sifting through the aftermath of that storm system that brought tornadoes to that state and areas across the South. Fox Weather's Rob Ray has the story from Tylertown, Mississippi.
Huge swaths of land, trees cut, cars overturned, roofs taken apart. 3 people have lost their lives here in Tylertown. And it's not just Mississippi that was hit by these supercells and strong severe systems. Louisiana with tornadoes, Arkansas with tornadoes, Missouri, unfortunately, a death toll up in Missouri is not a good situation. Overall, 30-plus people have lost their lives over this weekend because of all of this destruction.
And the number of lives lost now updated to 35. A devastating fire at a nightclub in North Macedonia, killing 59 people, injuring over 100, according to the country's interior minister. It started around 2:30 in the morning during a concert. The blaze sparked by pyrotechnics used by some of the crowd. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How much was impacted? Cloudy and 41 degrees here in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 12:03. The National Weather Service confirmed on Saturday that there were also tornadoes that touched down in Indiana, especially in the southern part of the state.
EF2 speed ranges typically fall in the range of 111 to 135 miles per hour.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says there were also 3 tornadoes in central Indiana during the weekend. The Community Crossing Matching Grant Program provides money for construction projects across Indiana. John Herrick reports on how it's especially beneficial for rural areas.
In order to qualify for the grants, smaller municipalities have to provide a 25% match in local funds, and it's a little bit more for larger areas. State Representative Dave Heine of Fort Wayne says these grants make a difference.
Rural communities like mine often have limited resources and can benefit from additional support to complete highway maintenance and other infrastructure improvements.
He says it's encouraging to know that more upgrades are in the works for his district. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And you are paying an average of $2.94 a gallon of gas today, says AAA. That is up 7 cents from last week, down 5 cents from last month, and 14 cents below the national average. And the cheapest gas is in Bedford at $2.34, according to GasBuddy.com. WIBC News Time at 12:04. Here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rain is likely this morning, becoming more isolated this afternoon with a couple spots in northern Indiana. Briefly seeing snowflakes. High temperatures already reached this afternoon in the low 40s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
Still 41 degrees on Monument Circle, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
We love playing high school sports because we get to compete and have fun with our friends.
We've also learned skills we'll need for the rest of our lives. I'm Sawyer Tittman from Fort Wayne Snyder High School.
And I'm Pierce Darrington from Floyd Central High School. It takes discipline and commitment to put in the work every practice.
It takes focus and determination to make the right play when the game is on the line.
It takes resilience and humility to find ways to improve after a tough loss.
What better way to learn these life skills than by playing high school sports?
Where we have coaches who mentor us, teammates who become our best friends, memories we'll never forget.
And important life lessons ingrained in us forever.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Be a champion of high school sports by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is developing character for life. This is what education-based athletics are all about. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome to the second hour of the first day. How's everybody doing? You okay?
Do you still have your
Everything's
porch
all right.
furniture?
Wow. Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve. Terri Stacy here, along with Kielynn Talley. On this March 16th, just a reminder, wear your green, come downtown for the big property tax rally at the State House with Kendall and Casey tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, they're expecting you.
Wait, to celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Uh-huh. Well, you'll be downtown celebrating St. Patrick's Day anyway. You'll probably be working, but there's still that opportunity to go down and show your support. And I think they say you can bring your signs and most importantly, wear your green for money.
Hey, another quick reminder before we move on. Deborah in the chat on your YouTube. We are streaming on YouTube, no cameras today, but join the conversation in our YouTube chat. Deborah, she mentioned that and it's a good reminder, the Lawrence and Fort Harrison water treatment plant had a water main break yesterday. And so for you all in that area, it is a recommended 5-minute boil for all water to be used for drinking and cooking, just in case, as a precaution.
It has been a terrible flu season.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
And then there's this talk of this measles outbreak. And Kielynn, I went, IPS has sent out a press release, a media advisory, I should say, regarding their proactive steps to protect students and staff about the growing numbers of measles that have about 12 across 12 states, 250 confirmed cases. I haven't heard anything about Indiana, but the concern is spring break because of an increased risk of measles exposure. And it made me take a look to see, because it said, you know what, if you're an adult, you might think about it too. If you have not, but just make sure you've had yours as well. If you want a vaccine, right? Mm-hmm. So we were talking yesterday, you and I, about the measles vaccine. So I looked it up because there were no vaccines for measles available before 1963. If you're born between 1963 and 68, 63 to 67 is when they had an activated measles vaccine introduced. So if that's the case, if you were born between 63 and 68, it's recommended you get a kind of a booster, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to. But anybody else, it looks like you're probably fine.
Man. I wouldn't have even thought about that with spring break. Everybody traveling to all the different states.
I know. And
stay
you do
safe.
Wonder. Right. Just stay safe. It's Teacher's Day, by the way, at the Indiana Flower and Patio Show. You get in free with your school ID. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Juli Shamash about her son, Tyler. Earlier in the week, a bipartisan bill titled Tyler's Law was introduced by Indiana Senator Jim Banks. We've got Tyler's story for you next on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Another update is just minutes away.
Strong winds and even tornadoes.
40, 50 miles per hour.
Tonight into tomorrow morning.
Hear the news.
House Republican passed bill Chuck Schumer now support.
I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal.
On the level.
30-day ceasefire.
Russia's there, and if they're not, it'll be a very disappointing moment for the world.
On the go.
IU men's basketball team eliminated.
Mike Woodson believes they can get into the NCAA tournament.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
Advanced solutions from Comcast Business help turn today's enterprises into engines of modern business. It's how retailers become logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying favorite shopping destinations.
Thank you for shopping.
And how nationwide restaurants become customer focusing, touchscreen ordering,
second window, please,
rapidly customizing, quick serving eateries. It's how we turn financial firms into market tracking, client servicing, cyber securing economic engines.
Loan approved. Congratulations.
And how hospitals become the patient scanning, data managing, welcome to the worlding, life-changing healthcare facilities that we all depend on. With leading networking and connectivity, advanced cybersecurity, and expert partnership, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities. Restrictions apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Hey guys, it is Terri Stacy. You know, so many new homes these days. You see them. They look exactly alike. Well, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, they do it differently. They build cool homes, truly custom, and they've been building homes across central Indiana for over 18 years, and it really started with Tom and Sarah Joyner when they were looking for their first move-up home, and the only choices in their budget were older homes, and they loved them, but ideally, they wanted one with today's updated finishes, but they couldn't find that dream home, and they really believed that a home could be built that had that character and quality and also be reasonably priced. And that was the start of the concept behind Joyner Homes. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans that really will inspire you. There really isn't any time like right now to begin planning your custom home. Get in touch with Joyner Homes and talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Really simple to do. Just go to the website joynerhomes.com and get started. That's JOYNER homes.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now's the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Welcome back to the first day. 93 WIBC. It's Terri Stacy along with Kielynn Talley. And earlier in the week, Senators Banks of Indiana and Alex Padilla of California introduced a bipartisan bill titled Tyler's Law to fight the fentanyl crisis. The bill is named in memory of Juli Shamash, a teenager who died from fentanyl poisoning. Senator Banks thanked Tyler's mom, Juli, for championing this legislation to make fentanyl testing a national standard. And Juli joins us now on the phone. Juli, thank you so much for spending time with us. Tell us about Tyler.
So Tyler was my middle child, and he was, from a young age, very active, very inquisitive. As he got to about fifth grade, we started noticing that he had attention deficit disorder. I mean, I noticed it before, but he was diagnosed with that. When he was about 5, he was diagnosed with mild Asperger's, so he was on the spectrum. And I think because of that, he was missing dopamine, and he was always thrill-seeking. Like, we would be at the park and turn around, where's Tyler? And he would have climbed up the tallest tree or a chain-link fence at the tennis court. And I just feel like he always just needed to get that thrill that he wasn't getting naturally from chemicals in your body. He built his own computer when he was young.
Wow.
He was very into Bitcoin, and unfortunately, it's kind of a joke in our house that we should have listened to him and invested in it. I didn't understand it, and quite honestly, I still don't understand Bitcoin.
We don't either.
Had we would be millionaires by now, I think. So he was very bright. You know, I once even said to him, like, you think you're smarter than me, Tyler? And he looked at me because I know I am. Okay. And you know, in certain areas, he was. Unfortunately, when he was about 13, he started, well, maybe before started having anxiety, but about around 13 or 14, he found marijuana to self-medicate for his anxiety and social situations. And he told me, Mom, you know, when I'm high, when my friends are all high, no one notices I'm different. Because he was smart and would research stuff, he would know about every strain of marijuana and how to smoke it. And all the other kids, you know, finally thought he was cool with this. And so he wasn't getting like a negative consequence necessarily for the marijuana. In his mind, you know, it was great. And in 100% honesty, in California, marijuana is legal. And I didn't realize that the marijuana that they use today has such a higher THC content than what, you know, people used in my day. I grew up in high school in the 80s, and, you know, in college, people smoked. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, I think the concentrate then was maybe like 3% or 5%, and now you have these high-potency products that are up to 80, 90%. And, you know, I just didn't realize the effect that it has on the developing brain. It does now, studies, you know, are showing that it does increase your chance of becoming addicted. And we don't have any addiction in our family, but, you know, Tyler ended up becoming addicted. The marijuana stopped working for him to self-medicate, and he turned to stronger stuff, which was a higher concentrate of marijuana called dabbing or wax. So he started using that. And then that led to promethazine coating with cough medicine, which is, the kids call it lean. Like if you've ever seen the rappers with a big styrofoam cup walking around. So, you know, here's this little West LA boy trying to emulate the rappers. You know, we realized he had a problem at that point, and we had him taken something called the transport team from his bed at 4:30 in the morning to go to a wilderness program in Idaho. He seemed like he liked it because he didn't have to do schoolwork outside. He would find stuff. He'd find arrowheads, and he was there for 3 months, and then they said he wasn't ready to come home, and so then he went to a therapeutic boarding school in Utah for a year. And then I will save you the whole details of him coming home, and he got a job, and he got hurt, and he went to a workman's comp doctor who then prescribed an opioid pain medicine, which, you know, sparked his whole addiction over again. And then there was 2 girls that he liked. He was very trusting of people, and these 2 girls introduced him to smoking heroin, and that was, you know, when things were very, very bad. He went to numerous sober livings, and you know, at the time he passed away, we thought he was sober. He had just gotten another job, and he was doing so well, and he was happy. We had just gone to dinner with him a few weeks before. He was clear. You know, everything seemed very good until he was at the sober living, and I got a phone call at like 2:00 in the morning saying, he's on his way to the hospital. He's okay. We think that he might have overdosed on something. So, I laid in bed that night furious. And I said, this is it. I'm done. We've spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's taken such a toll. I have 2 other kids. It's taken a toll on them, on our marriage. And, it's just going through addiction. Addiction's a family disease. It really is. I never understood that. Just because I didn't have any experience with it. But now I see it really does affect the whole family.
Yeah.
And, I laid in bed that night furious saying, that's it, I'm done. And everything we had to pay for out of pocket. Insurance doesn't cover wilderness or boarding school or, any of that, or even sober living. That morning, I got a phone call from him at 7 in the morning saying, Mom, did you hear what happened? I'm in the emergency room, but I didn't take anything. I took Imodium because I started a new job and my stomach was upset. So I said, Tyler, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you, because if you know anything, or teenagers, but addicts especially, don't always tell the truth.
Yeah.
So the emergency room is like 5 minutes from my house. So I ran over there to talk to the doctor, and I said to the doctor, I don't know if he told you, but, this kid has a history of addiction, and are you sure his tox screen came out negative? And the doctor said, yes, we tested him for everything. And I said, are you sure? I asked 3 times, and I said, did you test him for fentanyl? And this was back in 2018. So you have to understand, it was just kind of coming on the scene.
Yeah.
I had just started hearing about it. I didn't know much about it. I did ask, and the doctor said, no, our opioid test would cover it. He goes to the sober living. The next morning, I get a phone call. My husband had gone to brunch, and I get a phone call from my husband saying, did the police call you? And I said, what police? What are you talking about? He's like, Tyler fell and hit his head. There's an ambulance there. And so we rushed over there, and I ran in expecting that maybe he needed stitches or had a concussion. And then the paramedic was, I'm sorry he didn't make it. I'm like it was like, you see, I can't even explain it, surreal. Like when you see in a cartoon or a TV show and someone's speaking a foreign language, it wasn't computing to me. I mean, he was so smart. He knew everything about every drug. And I just never, him overdosing, I mean, maybe naively, was never on my radar. But as we say, like, if not for fentanyl, he and, 100,000 a year other Americans would still be alive. And the emergency room thing, had we known, I wouldn't have sent him to a sober living, because sober livings, you're not watched as carefully as if you were in a detox. After that happened, our life went into a tailspin. So he passed away October 21st of 2018. And then a mom reached out to me who lived in Las Vegas, and her son, we found out, had been at one of the same treatment places as Tyler. And her son passed away, and I had remembered when Tyler had told me about her son. She asked me if I wanted to do an overdose awareness event in Los Angeles. And I said, yeah. So we pulled it together in 6 weeks. And then from then we decided to form a nonprofit called Moms Against Drugs. And we did walks. We organized walks. We originally started it kind of to lift up grieving moms, because at the time there was such a stigma of people who died from drugs. But we heard from moms that live in these small towns saying that, after their children died, they would go to the supermarket and people wouldn't look them in the eye, or nobody even brought them, a meal or a casserole when their child died. And it just broke our hearts. So we kind of started it to lift up other grieving moms. And then we were doing these walks to raise awareness, and we kind of found that the only people that were at the walks were grieving moms, which was great, but we wanted to reach more people. We really wanted to warn everyone, figuring if it happened to our kids, it can happen to anyone. I'm just a normal stay-at-home mom. I was a teacher. My husband's an attorney. We're just normal, American family, and with no addiction history. So if it happened to us, I figure, it could happen to anyone, and we need to warn people.
How did it happen that you became involved with creating this new bill?
Okay, well, I'll go backwards to the California bill. That was the impetus. That's how we started. I happened to be on a Zoom and about marijuana, oddly enough, and with some other advocates, and you had to introduce yourself. And I was saying, what happened to my son, and that I want to get a law passed in California that every hospital that tests for drugs has to test for fentanyl, because the doctor that gave me the misinformation for Tyler, he didn't have, bad intentions. He just wasn't informed. He thought that his drug test would show fentanyl, But because it's a synthetic, it's not picked up on the standard 5-panel test that includes opioids. So somebody on the Zoom said, oh my gosh, you have to talk to this doctor, or Dr. Ronit Lev in San Diego. She's working on the same thing because she is an emergency room doctor and an addiction specialist. And in her work, she's encountered the same thing. So I got in touch with her, and she actually had already had the words of the bill written out. And she said, I haven't had any luck getting somebody to sponsor it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm your girl. If nothing else, and my kids will confirm this, I am a nag. Like, I will for sure get somebody. And I wrote to every single legislator in California, and we finally got State Senator named Melissa Melendez to sponsor it. And Governor Newsom signed it in 2022, and it went into effect January 1st of 2023. And it says that anytime a hospital does a standard 5-panel drug test, they have to add a separate fentanyl test. You know, all along I wanted to get it passed federally. We just started with the state. And we actually had a woman in Maryland reach out to us. Her fiance had died, and she wanted to get it passed there, so we helped her do that. And then we helped Congressman, I believe, in Pennsylvania get it passed. And then at that point, I started looking to try to get it passed federally. Well, I obviously did not pay much attention in 10th grade civics class because I really didn't, know so much about getting laws passed federally. Yeah. And when I've gone to Washington, D.C. a couple of times to lobby for the bill, and so last year it was introduced in the House and Senate, and last year the sponsor of the bill in the Senate was Joe Manchin and Mike Braun. It didn't get out of committee, unfortunately, last year. We had to get it reintroduced. Senator Banks' office was interested, and I met with them, and we met with him when we were in D.C., and they really liked the bill. And I know the senator is big on trying to stop fentanyl deaths. We worked with him, and he offered to be the lead sponsor.
For anybody, if they had one takeaway, what is something that you would like them to know about this crisis? It's something that you've learned along the way that you just wish more people knew about this one thing.
Well, the number one thing that people need to know is any drugs that you buy online or on the streets or even from a friend, if you don't get it from a pharmacy or your parents or a doctor, it could have fentanyl in it. And this is not just pills. I know there's a big push. The DEA has a big campaign, One Pill Can Kill. It can be in heroin. It can be in MDMA. It can really be in anything. And I think that's what, we need to tell kids, that the days of experimenting with drugs safely are over. It's just a different world. Yeah. I have to say selfishly, two things. Number one, there's parents like me, unfortunately, in every city of every state that are doing the boots on the ground work, speaking at schools and putting stuff on social media, and just really, it helps us also.
Juli, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We've got to run, and I know you do too, but we sure do appreciate what you're doing to save lives in memory of your son, Tyler. All right, guys, the news is next. 93 WIBC.
If you love spring and Indy but hate the paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. This time, we had the roof done as well.
Visit Rhino Shield's booth at the Flower and Patio Show and learn about their 25-year transferable warranty protection. Plus, receive a free prize.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have that. They don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There is a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate. Call my agent, Mark Dietel. Maybe you want a guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Katie and Chris in Perry Township said this: sadly, our marriage was ending and we were both ready to sell the home and move forward ASAP. Mark Dietel made it happen fast and easy. Our home sold for more than we anticipated in 24 hours with 17 showings and multiple offers. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Advanced solutions from Comcast Business help turn today's enterprises into engines of modern business. It's how retailers become logistics mastering, supply chain transforming, seamlessly restocking, frictionless paying favorite shopping destinations.
Thank you for shopping.
And how nationwide restaurants become customer focusing, touchscreen ordering,
second window, please,
rapidly customizing, quick serving eateries. It's how we turn financial firms into market tracking, client servicing, cyber securing economic engines.
Loan approved. Congratulations.
And how hospitals become the patient scanning, data managing, welcome to the worlding, life-changing healthcare facilities that we all depend on. With leading networking and connectivity, advanced cybersecurity, and expert partnership, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. It's basketball season in Indiana, and while teams are making it drain on the court, Hope Plumbing is making it drain in your home with a $49 mainline snaking special. Now is the time to get your main lines checked before spring has sprung and it's too late. Don't wait. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE, 641-HOPE, HopePlumbing.com, and let's make it drain.
Looking for a great deal on a new Lincoln? Come to Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, now $15,000 off, and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. We look forward to seeing you at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 57,785. Offers good through March 31st, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's our us.
Blood, sweat, tears. At Bill Estes, we know it takes hard work and years of doing the right thing to build a business people can depend on. That's why we don't make empty promises and expect your trust. Estes earns it. From Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas to Ram 1500s and Chevy Silverados, we have the trucks you'll love at prices you can believe in. But don't just take our word for it. Your trust means something. Estes earns it. BillEstes.com.
Fox News, I'm Pam Huso. Catastrophic damage and at least 35 deaths. That's the aftermath of a monster storm system across multiple states. Fox Weather's Robert Ray is in Tylertown, Mississippi.
Trees cut, cars overturned, roofs taken apart. 3 people have lost their lives here in Tylertown. And it's not just Mississippi that was hit.
Deep Democratic divisions are on display in the nation's capital after Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer helped Republicans pass a bill to keep the government running.
One progressive group, Indivisible, is calling on Schumer to step aside. They say he gave up a rare moment of leverage for Democrats.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. Schumer argued that a government shutdown would have been worse. America's listening to Fox News.
right, everybody, welcome back to First Day, 93 WIBC. It is Terri Stacy, along with Kielynn Talley, producing today's show. Guess who's here, Kielynn? It's one of our favorite people, Matthew Porter. Welcome back to Indianapolis.
Hi, thank you.
Broadway in Indianapolis, we are ready to announce 25-26 season, and I have it in my hand. There's not a show on here I wouldn't want to see. I would want a season ticket for this one.
Absolutely. For me, it's pure joy. Like all these shows, I love all of them.
Me too.
And they give me such joy.
How did you do this for us here in Indianapolis?
Well, I didn't do it.
I always like to give you credit.
Yeah, our great president of the Midwest, she's the one who does the booking. And it is a huge puzzle to put together. Venues have to be available. The tours have to be close by. Fortunately, markets like Cincinnati and Louisville are close by. And so she also manages those. So it gives her a little bit of wiggle room in getting tours to come here. And some of, we've got some big ones coming.
MJ the Musical, Wiz, Beauty and the Beast, Hamilton, Wicked. You've got every one of them that we want to see.
Yeah, all the shows.
All the shows, and they're coming, and they really start this year.
Yes, they start this year. So the 25-26 season will start in November with Les Miserables. It'll be, I think, just a couple years since the last time it was here, but the last time it was here, it sold out immediately. So there are folks who can still get tickets to see the show that may not have gotten to see the show last time, or people like me that want to see it like for the 7th or 8th time.
And then you've got the other classic, Hamilton, on the ballot.
Yeah, so Hamilton for 2 weeks in December, which is like, again, we had an engagement of Hamilton fairly recently, but again, it sold out very quickly, and 2 weeks is not enough. So 2 weeks again in December at Old National Center.
It's never enough. That's what I love the most about this lineup, because there are classics, just ones that you need to watch again and again, but then there's twists on classics. So like with Wiz, if people haven't heard of it, I'm sure you can assume it's The Wizard of Oz, but different.
So The Wiz came out originally on Broadway
in
1974. And Terry, do you remember the movie? With Michael Jackson and Diana Ross? Yeah. So it is, the story is based on The Wizard of Oz, but it's a different take, and it's so like I can beam ear to ear, because that show for me, it was on Broadway last spring, and it is now that Broadway company picked up and is on the road. So it's a direct from Broadway production of The Wiz, and it's bright. It's got all the things, and it's all the music that you loved from the movie, if you remember the movie back then, or the original Broadway production. So all the performers in this show are standout, crazy good. So like just getting to sit and listen to those individual performances alone is wonderful.
Another one that's a twist on a classic, and Juliet. I'm very excited to see this one.
This is the story as if Juliet decided to not end it all over Romeo.
I love this idea. I think this is such an interesting twist.
Right. Well, it gives it kind of a modern twist, right? So it's like, what if she wants to empower herself and move on and find another adventure, another journey? So that's what this show is all about. It's got a lot of heart, and it's a little edgy, and the music comes from the same songwriter and producer. So you'll hear it's jukebox musical. So you'll hear like Katy Perry, NSYNC, like all kinds of pop hits from the past 20 years that will just have you jumping in your seat. It's so good.
Next
ones, we've got Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
Beauty
classic.
and the Beast.
I think she's going to hit Broadway.
I'll just sing the song while you're all talking.
Okay.
I'll just sing softly in the background, like some of my favorite music, truly, in a musical comes from Beauty and the Beast. The story.
Yeah, the animated feature was one of my favorites.
Me too.
Growing up, and
gosh.
This is the first time in 25 years that Disney has mounted a North American tour production. This is like all the bells and whistles, all the trucks. This is like Disney magic and grandeur at its best. So it'll be coming back. The very first time that first national tour was here was in 2000. 25 years since we saw that first national tour. So
let's go to Clue next.
I don't like this one.
Yeah.
Terry.
I'm kidding.
But who done it?
I'm kidding. I do love it. That's next up.
Yeah. Clue is actually a 90-minute play, and it is based on the board game and then the 1985 movie starring Tim Curry and many others. And if you are a fan of the movie like I am, all those one-liners, all that physical comedy, it's all in this play. And it is 90 minutes of just pure belly laughing. So I think folks are really going to love that, especially since it's a different offering from a big stage Broadway musical. But it will be at Old National Center. It will look larger than life, but it is very intimate and, again, lots of fun.
Good.
What a good take on a little dinner party. I'm excited. MJ, I guess, if you want to talk MJ.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going in no particular order. I don't know the order
that's
for...
Fine. That's fine. I know what they all are this time, so notice I'm not looking at this paper. Yeah. MJ is Michael Jackson's 1992 Dangerous World Tour. And it's all based on that, the creativity of putting that tour together, how he collaborated with other artists on this tour, and how, just what a pop icon. And so, like, all your favorite Michael Jackson songs from that time are a part of this show. And finding that lead actor that plays that role.
Oh, I can't imagine that's the first thing that came to mind. Who are we going to be watching?
We don't have an announcement for the casting yet, but whoever is playing that role, it is a big responsibility.
Yeah.
This show won 4 Tony Awards. It was nominated for 10 Tony Awards.
You literally have big shoes to fill when you're moonwalking across that stage.
Oh, yeah.
The date on that one again? Yeah.
January 13th.
January 13th, 2026.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we open the season with Les Miserables at Clues Hall in November, and then Hamilton at Old National Center in December for 2 weeks. And then starting in 2026, we will have MJ at Old National Center in January, The Wiz at Clues in March, Clue at Old National in April, Beauty and the Beast at Old National in May, and then Anne Juliet June 16th through the 21st.
Ooh, I have to wait for the finale.
Yeah.
For Anne Juliet.
I mean, we all have to really stay well.
So with those dates, is that Hamilton's going to be my Christmas present?
Yeah, right around the holidays. Good time for that one.
Yep. Can you believe that? Hamilton, 10 years.
I cannot, because it feels like the phenomenon just got started, truly.
Yeah. And then Beauty and the Beast,
Beauty and the Beast.
25, 30 years.
Right. I mean, truly, these are all timeless. Great season. Do we cover everything?
Yeah, we cover all the shows.
If you want to get a season ticket, that's the way to go at this very moment. Because
that's the
so
best
many of
way
these
to secure your seats.
Right.
Yeah, for all the shows. And season subscriptions are only available for renewing subscribers at this time.
Okay.
So on April 18th, we will go on sale with new subscriptions. And if folks go to our website at BroadwayInIndianapolis.com, they can sign up on the wait list and they'll be notified 2 days earlier so that they can go ahead and get those season tickets.
Mark your calendar to April 18th.
Get your tickets and do that at BroadwayInIndianapolis.com.
It was a sold out season. Get those tickets, man. It's for real.
It's for real. All right, Matthew, anything else?
Nope.
You're the best.
I don't think so.
Thank you, and we're looking forward to the new season.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. Coming up, we've got food news.
I am so excited, very much so, for St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, I've got my green on. Heck yeah, I'm excited. We are going to be talking to one of the newer Irish restaurants in town who just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. We'll talk about it next.
93 WIBC. Mere Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terri Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. What? They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149.
For tax prep that's $149 or less, hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030 because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to First Day 93 WIBC. Terri Stacy and Kielynn. Tally. You know what time it is.
I'm in the spirit.
She is in the spirit. It's time
I'm
for
feeling
food
lucky.
news.
Yes, let's get to it.
Yeah, let's do.
The biggest food news of the weekend, I'm sure you already know it, and I hope you've already had your corned beef and cabbage. It is the final stretch of St. Paddy's Day weekend. And today for food news, we're talking Irish-themed pubs. And don't worry, you don't have to go to Ireland for it. Instead, you can go to Irvington, the east side of Indianapolis. Yes, this is where SNUG is. They've had a party so far, but the celebrations continue, and we're going to talk all about it with co-owner Jim Arnold. Jim, thank you for taking time out of your busy, packed weekend to celebrate with us.
Thanks for having me.
First, before we get into what crazy weekend you've had, I want to be transported into SNUG, this Irish-themed pub. Tell us about the atmosphere of SNUG.
So when we were designing the place, we actually went over to Ireland and spent some time in some Irish pubs trying to make sure that we got the ambiance just right. We sat in the SNUG of a bar in Cork City called the Shelbourne Bar and took a lot of inspiration from their decor and kind of the dark, warm colors and a lot of wood, that sort of thing.
What aspect made you decide that this is what you wanted to do with this building, to make it an Irish-themed pub, and specifically more of that SNUG atmosphere?
I'm an Irvington resident. I actually live only about a half a block away, and I got tired of leaving the neighborhood to find a place that I could call my local. When the opportunity presented itself, it's just a tiny little space. It's about 600 square feet. It seemed like it just fit. So, our goal was to create a cozy place for the neighborhood to come and have a pint and meet friends or make new friends and just enjoy the block.
I love that. The name SNUG, does that mean something?
Yeah, it refers to these little rooms that exist in kind of Victorian-era pubs when it wasn't acceptable for women to drink in public. So there were these little tiny rooms within pubs where women could come and enjoy a pint without anyone knowing who was in there.
Oh, wow.
And they still exist to this day.
What a story.
So cool.
I wasn't expecting that story. That's pretty cool.
And the
Go
fact
ahead.
that you guys have a SNUG inside the SNUG is, I think it's just top tier.
You do have a SNUG inside the SNUG.
We do. Yeah, it's quite a coveted corner.
I love this so much. What is your background, Jim? Why did you decide to open SNUG? Obviously, you were an Irvington resident, but it takes a lot to take that step to open up a whole pub.
It was very serendipitous. Actually, I got hired to do the renovations. I'm a general contractor by trade. I got hired to renovate the building that the SNUG is attached to. The SNUG was previously a hair salon, and the woman who ran it lived in the house behind it. And it was purchased by a couple of guys in the neighborhood, and they were going to turn the back space into an Airbnb. They weren't sure what to do with the front. I came out and, walked through the space with them and gave them a quote on doing the renovations, and sort of half jokingly suggested an Irish pub for the front. I didn't hear from them for a few weeks, and then I got an email. They accepted my bid to do the work, and they said, let's go forward with the Irish pub, the Irish bar theme too.
Wow!
Then you went full in.
You went full in.
You're the owner.
Jim, do you worry about the construction with Indigo?
Ooh.
That's a great question. We're off of Washington a couple of blocks.
Okay.
And so and I feel bad for our neighbors who are on Washington in terms of parking and just being trapped in the middle of that.
Right.
I think that because we're off, I'm hoping we'll fare better. Also, we're such a neighborhood place. We've had a couple of snow days over the last year or so where the bar's just been full of people who could come that were within walking distance. And it's got a great neighborhood feel on those nights.
Oh, I like that. Good deal.
I'm curious, as we're going into this St. Paddy's Day weekend talk, I just am curious, have you learned any Irish sayings on the way, whether that was in Ireland, in those pubs that you did research in before opening, or even just along the way here in your pub?
One of my favorites, and this was actually my great uncle used to say it, is, may you be in heaven before the devil knows you're dead.
Oh, I like that one.
Me too. We're all a little Irish during the St. Patrick's Day, but I really did see that 1 in 10 in Indiana are Irish.
Oh,
so there, even though we all think that maybe that's just a smaller number, it really isn't. We have a great Irish groups, neighborhoods, and I love that we still have that. And I love the SNUG. I can't wait to see SNUG. I got to try SNUG.
Speaking of trying, today they are going to be trying a lot of different things. Yesterday you had your big block party, and the celebration still continued today with your Tullamore Dew Irish Coffee Day. Tell us about this Irish coffee.
So we are going to have several different offerings of Irish coffees. There's going to be the classic SNUG Irish coffee, and traditionally it comes with a vanilla cream on top of the coffee. Today we're going to be doing a mint cream that's got a little bit of a green hue to it. We're also doing a rum cask finished Tullamore Dew whiskey Irish coffee that's got a kind of a Caribbean feel to it that is delicious.
It sounds delicious.
Oh, I like it. And I like the green color. Just curious, do you guys have green beer at SNUG?
We don't.
Okay.
To
hear it was
we're
just food coloring. Oh man, I'm happy that you guys stick to the classics. Tell us about some of your Irish spirits that you guys offer normally.
So all of the spirits we serve at the SNUG are Irish spirits. We have Irish vodkas, Irish gins, and over 150 individual Irish whiskeys on the back bar. We've also got the full range of Irish beers from Guinness to Kilkenny and everything in the middle.
One of the other things that you guys are going to be offering tomorrow on St. Paddy's Day, which people can still be joining you, how will you guys be celebrating tomorrow? What will you be serving?
So along with the Irish coffees, we will have $5 Irish pints all day long from 12 to 10 p.m.
Is this something that you offer also regularly?
It is our Monday special.
Oh, even more so. And then talking about something special, you guys celebrated earlier this year your first year anniversary. You guys opened just last year. It's crazy because it feels like it's already been a long time. But SNUG's first anniversary release. Tell us about this one.
So we did in cooperation with Powers Court Distillery. They make one of the brands they make is for Kielynn Irish whiskey, and they did a 4-year-old single malt that's finished in Marsala wine casks. And they co-designed a label with our logo on it, and we just last week had a kind of an official tasting with a representative, Neve Kennedy from Powers Court Distillery. She came out and did a tasting with us for our whiskey club, but we had that over the holiday season as well in the bar.
Man, and Terry, reading these tasting notes: Christmas cake, cinnamon rolls, walnuts. Oh. Yes. Yeah. Mouthwatering indeed. Yeah.
There is a lot going on there.
And then one last special thing that I want to give a shout out to you for, because obviously congratulations on the 1 year, but then even more so, congratulations on winning Best Things 2024, the official Community Choice Awards winner.
Oh, that's excellent.
What does that mean for you, especially being in this neighborhood you live in?
We were shocked. There were so many great bars on that list. We honestly did not think that we had any business winning. My wife and I went to the event last minute. One of the reps called and said, "Hey, we haven't gotten tickets for you guys. Are you coming?" Kind of a last minute decision. And we were there. Fortunately, it was really quite a night. I wish the whole team had been there to celebrate and experience, but we had no idea.
What an honor indeed. We got to run here soon, but anything else that you'd like to share about SNUG or about St. Patty's Day weekend as we're finishing out this fun, joy-packed weekend?
Ultimately, I have to thank Irvington and Indianapolis for being so good to us over the course of our first year. And we do have a whiskey club, and all of that information plus more is on our website at snugin.us. And we'd love to see you in sometime.
snugin.us, and follow them on socials. They have such a fun Instagram account. That's where I've been following them.
Thanks.
They're also tagged on our Facebook post on our Facebook, First Day with Terri Stacy. You'll find them there as well. SNUG, again, over in Irvington on the east side of Indianapolis, and we were talking with co-owner Jim Arnold. Jim, happy St. Patty's Day, and enjoy the rest of your celebrations.
Thank you so much, and sláinte.
Thank you so much, Jim.
He's
Thank
terrific.
You.
A really, really terrific guy. Please
Go
support
visit
him.
SNUG. And hey, enjoy all of the rest of your St. Patty's Day weekend celebrations. Enjoy the day tomorrow. Some quick food deals for you. If you are wearing your green, head over to Krispy Kreme and they'll give you a free donut. No strings attached.
I like
That's
that.
it. Just wear your green.
Tomorrow only?
Today and tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep. And then also, this week is the first day of spring.
No,
We've
she's been
made
so
it.
excited. Counting down the days.
We've had great weather, so I can't complain too much. But the official first day of spring is on Thursday, March 20th, which means that is Dairy Queen's Cone Day. They're giving out free small vanilla cones. Also, no strings attached, no app, no account. Just show up and you'll get your free small vanilla cone. And then Rita's in Carmel will be doing their free 6-ounce Italian ice on Thursday also from 12 to 9 p.m. So go get some free food. Enjoy. Happy first day of spring.
And happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Thank you all so much for joining us today, Kielynn. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to
Stay lucky.
To all of our guests, you can, if you missed anything, you can certainly check us out at WIBC.com on the First Day blog. We'll talk to you next week right here on First Day, 93 WIBC.
Sunday morning.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Good times are always in stock at Crown Liquors and have been since 1989. For a limited time, get throwback pricing.